Welcome back to the channel. Well, we are riding with the lovely Drew in my wide body Porsche Cayenne Turbo, which TechArt likes to refer to as the Magnum. This vehicle was built specifically for SEMA in conjunction with TechArt, and it was a project I did that was a large undertaking, mostly because it was one of the first ones to come in the US and all the instructions were in German. Now, as you look at this vehicle, you might think to yourself, well, why is it not yellow? The answer is this girl right here. Drew likes gunmetal gray, or in this case, titanium metallic. I think it's the exact Porsche color, but this matches her 997S. And of course her commuter, her CRV. So she has the common theme of this color going. And she likes it so much, she's liberated it for her cause. So I got the job of putting it all together and building it. And then now, I just get a lovely chauffeur to drive me around, which makes life all the better.
I think that's a fair trade. That's in my book.
Pretty much there's never a fair trade with Drew. I'm always getting the short end of the stick. But most of you that are married will probably relate to my pain. Looking at the exterior of this vehicle, I did the complete Magnum wide body kit, which included the front and rear bumpers, all the fender extensions. The hood, which is one of my favorite aspects. It's got these unique vents on them that I really think adds to the appeal. Then of course, to tie everything in back, I used the Porsche Sport Design wing right off the back. That gave me the look I was really looking for, but to tie it all in, I wanted to use the TechArt wheels to keep the theme going, 22 inches, but they looked rather large. So amazingly enough, what a lot of people don't know is this car was of course done by Brian, who does all my cars, but Drew did a lot of work in helping with it, including she gave me the brilliant idea of changing the depth look of the wheels. They were all hand masked by Brian and Drew. And of course Brian did his magic, but that's why it has that unique look, and they're very special to Drew because she had a helping hand on it, which makes it very difficult for me because every now and then I feel like maybe we should change to 3-piece wheels. But that is a no-go, as she worked effortlessly to make sure this car made it to SEMA, and those wheels are kind of like Drew's signature wheels to me. I don't know. And then of course I needed to have the brakes filled out. So we went to the Brembo 8-piston calipers. And then Porsche upgraded brakes in the back. That pretty much tied everything together. But after all that was done, this car has air suspension, which, as all of you know, has huge benefits. Being able to adjust ride height on the fly. But the kit didn't look just right because the gap was still larger than I wanted. So again, I looked at my friends at TechArt, and luckily they make a module that plugs into this car, which actually lowers it below what Porsche would want you to have it at. But as you could see, Drew is happy, the ride's still compliant, and she's the one who takes it on long trips. I mean, essentially, it's great for me. I get to work on it, maintain it, and she reaps the benefits, much like many things in my life. But since she's the one that experienced it more, let's hear what she has to say about how it looks.
Well, first of all, it's amazing. It's just like the 997, 996, but just massive. And, you know, sometimes bigger is better, right? I mean,
I guess that means that, you know, there's something I should strive to achieve. I mean, there's that underlying thing, you know, I just never hear the end of it from this girl.
What are you talking about? I mean, like, you know, just chauffeuring Natalia around and all her stuff, so I'm not sure quite what you're talking about besides bigger is better.
Well, the bottom line is that she likes the look of it, and she drives the most. So, I mean, for me, same thing. It's unique. It's rare. I don't see it. And you can definitely see the theme between the other TechArt kits, like the Type 2 GTS that I have on the 996 Turbo, which is really nice. Of course, we're lacking the yellow, but Drew is happy, so all is good. At the heart of the Magnum is the FVD reprogrammed DME, and that really made an enormous difference. Maybe one of the biggest differences I've seen just by changing the DME. Now, if you go by their numbers with all the changes, the filters, the cat bypass pipes, the TechArt exhaust, makes around 550. It's hard to tell because this is a very heavy vehicle, but when they did reprogram the DME, they addressed everything like you would normally expect. Of course, boost, fuel, they changed the shift points. All these combined really make a big difference. But as all of you know, us living in California, there's not much more we want to do than that. Mostly because I need this car to pass emissions, because Speed Racer here takes it out of the town all the time, and the last thing I need is the grief of something going wrong or getting stopped at a checkpoint or something like that. But it's all reversible. When I had FVD program this DME, I had them actually use a clean slate, meaning that I kept my factory DME intact. So if a problem ever comes up and I need to go to the referee, the key is put the factory DME back in, satisfy the readiness monitors, and everything is good. In the neighborhood of 550, which to most people, other than Drew, that would be plenty. That you can hear, it definitely does the job for her.
There you go.
And it is a tireless job keeping Drew satisfied, let me tell you. Let me tell you.
No one feels sorry for you, by the way. It's kind of...
As far as aesthetics, as all of you know, I try to cover all the small details. So I had my friend Rob do all the engine bay panels in carbon fiber, as they weren't available at that time in carbon. TechArt had a carbon fiber engine trim kit that was quite pricey, but as you could see, it just tied the whole package together, so I had to have it. As far as on the interior, I had to keep the carbon fiber theme going, but usually I go with the black. But in this specific case, Drew did some research and she found the silver carbon fiber. And at first I was a little bit hesitant, but after seeing how it looked, I must admit, she definitely has the eye. The Magnum for me just ties everything together. And the reason why? Because I have a family. That is, of course, the problem, is that going anywhere with Natalia in any of the other cars, the Lambos, the SV, the Mercy, it's just not an option. Well, here you go. Back seats, car seat. And the main thing is, for those of you that travel with children, know that you must take almost half of your house anywhere you go. The Magnum has tons of cargo space. So for me, it's really about tying it all together. And this has the look. In the SUV segment, this is what I like. Of course, do I think you can compare the cars? No, not really. But as far as being able to get the job done and having the look, well, this is top notch for me. But I guess the real question is, what does Drew think, since she drives it? For me, the most important thing in the Magnum is the look. Now, I do hear a lot of controversial comments on it, but that's fine with me, to each their own. I do like it because it's rare and it's very unique. The look to me does tie into the other cars, which all makes sense.
Don't worry about what people think when you're building your car. Just do it. And if you're stoked on it, do it. That's all I'm going to say.
But to me, because it's rare and looks different, that's what I really like about it. But let's hear from the critic.
Well, like all moms, I'm a multitasker, so this kind of gets the job done while I'm chauffeuring Adam around or Natalia around. I get to open up the top and get a suntan. So, soak up that vitamin D, so it works.
Well, now all of you have the insight on my Magnum. Actually, I'm sorry, Drew's Magnum. For all intents and purposes, I of course just pay for everything. But in any case, you can see why I like it, why she likes it. Essentially, just to keep Drew happy, so I can go and, I don't know, get things like the NSX Type S without hearing grief. And for us, it just works perfect in our situation. Now I'm going to enjoy the rest of my ride, getting chauffeured around by the lovely Drew. And for the rest of you, have a great weekend. We'll see you next time. With all that put together and the 550 horsepower, how does that feel to you?
It feels really good.
Much like other things. Well, there you have it. It feels really good. I can't emphasize it as much as she does, but obviously, you guys get the idea.